That's right. This is the Beyond the Gates podcast with Mike and Gary. I'm your host, Gary, joined by my co-host and my cousin in Florida. Mike, how are you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing well, Mr. Klinsman. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's I think that it's changes. The weather is turning around. I see the horizon. It got over 70 today.
Very nice.
I looked at the extended forecast. Monday, a high of 77.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little excited, starting to get a little pep in my step. I was really getting like seasonal affective disorder, I think. It was like May 10th, and it was like 41 degrees and raining, and it was miserable. That's not fun, is it?
No.
Even in Minnesota, people start complaining about that, don't they?
Mm-hmm. You know what, though, Billy? It's par for the course, because I saw something. It was might have been yesterday when we were at EPCOT, and it was my reminder about going to Georgina Jr.'s baptism.
That's right.
And I was in the air, and it said that the pilot announced that it was raining and 46 degrees in Providence.
Yeah. But the actual baptism ended up being nice that day. 'Cause remember, we were out on the porch, and she was just in like a little sleeveless shirt. But
yep.
Yeah, it's just, you never know in May.
No.
But it was a long stretch of bad. What else is new down there? They fixed your pool yet?
No, because we wanted to wait until my father-in-law was gone before they started digging stuff up.
Oh, so you could use just the pool before digging everything up.
Yeah. We didn't want a mess to be going on.
How'd that visit go?
It's still going on.
Oh, how long is he in town for?
I think Saturday.
Oh, he's leaving Saturday.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to come on the podcast?
No.
Oh. Are they in the house? Do you have to be like extra quiet?
No, they're watching Grey's Anatomy in the spare room.
Oh, okay. So you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I know we'll get into it a little more in the meat of the episode, but I guess that's a good thing. It's nice to have your own studio, like secluded from the rest of the house when you need to
soundproof.
record.
It's beautiful.
I mean, we didn't spare any expense.
Absolutely not.
On the studio. I'm excited to do some live recordings there, like we did last time I was at the studio.
Mm-hmm. Plenty of room for you.
Mm-hmm. You got 2 mics now and everything.
Yep.
That'll be good.
I do have some good news.
Okay.
My audio-visual guy emailed me yesterday, said everything's in, and he can do the install a week from Wednesday. So
you hear that? That's me rubbing my hands together. Very excited.
We're going to get DirecTV out here shortly after. And
why do you need to get them out again? Don't you already have? It's like a separate hookup.
Yeah. Well, they have to. Yeah, they have to put
like another box or something.
Yeah, another box out on the lanai.
You almost don't even. I mean, I guess you like the
sports. You need it. No, yeah, but not when you're already paying for DirecTV. Why not pay $5 a month for the extra box?
That's true. Good point. That's fair. That's a fair and valid point. So you got that. Once they fix the hot tub, you'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
How's everything? This is a good season. No, this is
it's nice. It's been nice.
The start of summer for you, basically, right? Mm-hmm. How's the landscaping looking? Everything staying green and healthy?
Sharp. I cut again today, and it's looking good.
The trees maturing, looking like they're gonna be good, healthy trees this year. That's good.
Yep, my palms are in good shape. Everything's in good shape right now.
It's gonna be like a whole new place to me.
Yeah, it's gonna be unrecognizable to you when you show up in a couple months.
Yeah, it'll be pretty good. So, how about those Bruins? They're looking pretty good as we record.
Yeah, I've taped a couple games, so I don't want to hear anything.
A couple games?
Well, the other night and tonight.
You don't even know what happened in the last game?
No, I kind of do, but I don't.
Oh, this is...
I know that Tuukka Rask played really well in Game 3.
How are you going like 2 days without knowing?
I've been staying away from that stupid Facebook thing.
That's tough. I mean, the next day is doable, but like 2 days later, you can't even like go on Twitter, Facebook, anything. Like you can't reasonably expect to not be spoiled at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say anything, but if I had said something today, that's not an unreasonable thing because you should have caught up at this point.
Right.
Okay, so I guess we'll move along from that. How about the PGA? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to put it on right now, but I haven't recorded anything.
You can't really spoil golf, even if you know what someone shoots. I mean, the Sunday round you don't want to spoil, but like a Thursday, Friday round, it doesn't really matter.
No.
If you know. And our guy, Brooks Koepka, set the course record today.
He's ridiculous, isn't he?
He's so good. He's a machine. I was listening to a podcast where he was doing an interview, and they asked him, they said, how do you play so good in majors? And he said, I think it's easier. He said, it's easier to win a major. He said, there's less guys. He's like, you get there and you know there's only about 20 guys that can win it, and I'm one of them. Half those guys are not going to play good that week, so I got to beat 10 guys, he said.
It's true, all true, right?
Yeah. He's like, and I think I hit it better than anybody. Like, that's definitely true. He hits it better.
And he's true about that. So,
and he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't get emotional. He doesn't get too hot, and he stays nice, even keel. And I think the reason he does so well in the majors is because everyone else is like their knees are shaking, and he's the same as
take muds.
Yeah, mud pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
And he just is steady Eddie, and he does it. Shoots 63, playing with
live
Tiger.
From the PGA on right now with Brandel Chambly, David Duval.
So that's all good stuff going on.
How'd Tiger play?
Not well. He shot a 72, 2 over par.
Okay.
Yeah, he played with Koepka, him and Molinari. I don't even know what Molinari shot. But Tommy Fleetwood is up there as well.
Oh, keeping with tradition of the PGA, they bring the last 3 major winners in, I guess, huh?
Yeah, Koepka, Molinari, and Tiger. That's correct. They kept up with it, even though it's not the last major anymore.
Right.
I like that. I like that they kept that together.
So we got Koepka -7, Danny Lee -6, Tommy Fleetwood -3.
Yeah, I sent you a screenshot of the leaderboard. My dark horse pick, Gary Woodland, was -3 through 9. I think he shot 73. Not a good back 9 for...
Phillip -1, DJ -1, Jordan Spieth -1, Ricky Fowler -1. Wow, this is beautiful. Jason Day -1.
I'd love to see Spieth turn it around. He's been struggling. I'd love to see him make a run. And Rory, too.
Siwoo Kim -1, no relation to Cha Kim.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
You've asked him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Would you like to hear about my unofficial beer sponsor of the week this week?
Sure, get into it, please.
This is from Founders Brewing, and this is the Solid Gold Premium Lager. 4.4% alcohol by volume. It's a 19.2 fluid ounce can, so it's a big boy. It says brewed for us, and this one is Grand Rapids, Michigan, so right in the backyard of Schaefer. And this is like just their regular. This would probably be akin to a Narragansett. You know what I mean? It's that similar flavor.
Okay.
So I went to the liquor store, and I needed some new beers for the beer sponsors, and I got a couple 6-packs, but they weren't cold, and I needed it for tonight. And so I went and looked in the singles case, and this one was $1.99 for the 19.2 ounce. And I've had Founders before. I haven't had this specific one, and I like it. It's very good. This is a good drinking beer. This is one you could have in the cooler while you're grilling and stuff.
Okay. Speaking of,
yes,
you've been sending lots of pictures of Westerly packing.
I haven't gone in a while, though.
What's going on with that? How do you not?
I haven't grilled. I've been too depressed to grill.
Didn't Schaefer's ribeyes mess you up last night?
That looked pretty good. Yeah, that was a good message to get. I can't believe it didn't take an after picture, though.
That was awful, was it not?
Yeah.
Why even bother?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
It was ridiculous. I was so disappointed. I was expecting to see beautiful grill marks, maybe like a piece when he cut into it.
You know what I think? This could be a conspiracy theory. I bet they were medium well.
You think he screwed him up?
Overcooked them, didn't get the crosshash on the marks, and then you cut into it and it's like gray. You think he messed it? I bet he messed him up, and that's why he didn't show the after.
You think he pulled a Joey Regano and disappointed everybody.
You love bashing Uncle Joe on the.
You read those strings, didn't you?
Oh, he gets all fired up.
Did you? Were you laughing though?
Why even unsolicited comment that your chicken parm's better than veal parm that you took a picture of? So it's not even the same thing.
Well, like what? Like you know it's gonna come from that, right?
Just unsolicited for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, mine's better. I'm like, have you ever tried it? And then I knew he was gonna say no.
Yeah.
I'm just setting him up right now. I'm like the boxer who's just waiting for him to swing and miss so I can go for the knockout.
Even if it is better, which I doubt it is, but even if it was, like, one, who cares? And two, why bring it up? It's not like we asked you. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, anyone ever seen a better chicken parm? You just put a picture up of your veal parm, like you do.
And it wasn't even mine. I didn't even have that, and we'll get into that in the meat of the episode. But
well, I mean, like, you post picture of food. That's what we do. You don't, no comment. You don't say this is the best thing I've ever eaten. You don't say this is, you just say here's a picture of it because that's what people like to see. I don't know. It's funny though.
You like my responses, don't you?
Oh, when you go at them, it's just
you fantastic. Just love it, don't you?
It's fantastic.
I doubt seriously that yours is better than this.
You. You at Disney? Question mark.
Is that you, Mike? And you read that and just start chuckling, right?
Oh, God, I just opened it. I'm like, who does he think it is? Like, what? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
Right? You'll be up at like the zoo in Westerly. You up there?
Yeah, that's right. I posted pictures of the aquarium. He's like, you in Connecticut, Mike? It's so messed up. This is the kind of stuff only me, you, and Schaefer will laugh at this in this episode, but it's worth it.
Because he's been on a jamming strip.
Yeah, exactly.
He fully understands it.
Does it concern you at all? Or is he just that messed up?
I don't.
Or is it like maybe you should get it checked out a little bit?
Because he posted something about the Don retiring, right?
Yeah.
And Kristen looks at me halfway through dinner. She goes, "Why does he ask me that every time?"
Like, you can't even get it out. I don't even know what you said.
Because why does he post that every time? Like we go out for something. I'm like, don't get me started.
Yeah, like, what are you supposed to do? Sit at home and like knit? With Don. I guess we should probably take a break. What do you think? All right. All right, episode 272 is here, and we are going to be talking about a few different things, but basically it's going to revolve around your experiences just yesterday, Wednesday. You went up to EPCOT for the day, is that correct?
Correct.
And so some of the things we want to talk about is you took your father-in-law and his wife, correct?
Correct.
And they don't have annual passes.
That's
They're
correct.
not local.
That's correct.
They're not big Disney fans, or not like they don't go all the time.
Correct.
So you guys were kind of in charge, I assume.
That's also correct, yes.
So this is going to be kind of like talking about what you do to try to give someone the full experience. Because as you know, and anyone who's listened to the show knows, your plan of attack at EPCOT or any of the theme parks is very different than someone who's only there for one day, non-local. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but you go differently now that you're local than you did when you went every 5 years when you were living in Minnesota.
Right.
So they're more in that aspect of the guests. So we're going to get into that a little bit as well. But first, we want to talk about, do you think, and we'll get right into the cost aspect. You went up to the guest relations and bought a ticket. Must be one of the first times you've gone and just bought the ticket out on site. Is that correct?
No, I've been a few times where they bought tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd say 2 or 3 times now.
Now, there's no like discount, like places you can get a one-day ticket ahead of time. That's like no local discounts or anything like AAA. They don't give you discounts on the 1 days, right?
Yeah, that could be. I didn't really look into it.
And I know occasionally they have those things where, like, the Florida residents can bring a guest, but I assume that wasn't going on.
Correct.
So how much was the 1 day single park? You didn't do any park hopping, right?
Right.
1 day ticket to Epcot Center on a weekday, Wednesday in May.
Yep.
Which is a slower time. This has got to be one of the slower seasons. So 1 day ticket to Epcot.
Yep. It was $109.
$109 before tax.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, like an 8.5% tax on that or something?
Give or take.
And then so you're looking at $117 or so each, so you're looking almost $240
okay,
to get 2 people in, which is what you were doing. Now, do you feel like, and obviously it's what the market bears because people pay it, but do you feel like that's worth it? Is that not going to say a value because that all depends on, $109 to some people is not a lot of money. Some people it's quite a bit of money. What do you think? Is that something that if you weren't a local, didn't have an annual pass, and you were in town for the day, could you see yourself dropping $115 to get into the park?
Yes.
See, I'm kind of in the same boat. But I don't know if my opinion is skewed because I'm a big fan. Like, as just an outsider, someone who's not like a Disney nerd, That's a lot of money for a day. But then you think about it. What if you went to Yankee Stadium?
Right.
How much are tickets? $85 for a decent seat?
Right.
And then you buy some beer. So you're into it just as much, and that's only a 3-hour game. Whereas Epcot, if you guys wanted to rope drop, you could have been there for 12 hours plus.
Right.
So, the cost per hour is not too bad.
I still think it's an extremely great value.
You get quite a lot with it. I mean, obviously, you get out of it what you make of it. If you show up at 4 o'clock and sit around and, wait in line at Starbucks for an hour, then you could probably feel like you're not getting your money's worth. But if you go and enjoy the day and walk around and do some attractions, take in some shows, you probably feel like you're getting a good value out of it. So what did you guys
Let me
end
ask
up
you a
doing?
question.
Sure.
All things being equal. Mm-hmm. You're in Westerly.
I am.
Your wife and the 2 girls go up to New Hampshire for the weekend. Mm-hmm. You have, because you're working the weekend, so you work Saturday. Now Sunday you have the day off. Mm-hmm. Epcot is where Mystic Aquarium is.
Sure.
You have no accountability to anybody. Mm-hmm. Do you drop $109 for that day to spend the day at Epcot?
Now, that's a tough question, because if Epcot was as close as Mystic Aquarium to me, I'd have an annual pass.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you could, if it was just
drop there for the day
on a sun, yep, it was just on a day.
Yes, definitely.
Of course you would. Okay,
but that's a once. That's almost taken into account that it's like a once a year kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Which it would be, because if you're going all the time, you get an annual pass.
And that's the thing. It's unfair because just if they come down here for a week, well, they can't get annual passes.
Right.
So it's the same thing with you. You wouldn't be able to get APs.
Right, exactly.
Now, granted, if they weren't even the biggest Disney fans, but they lived near here and we went all the time, then you could get APs because the ROI is at about, 9-10 days or so?
Well, that's for the big one. If you go into those silver ones where you can only go, and this would be the time of year you could go because this is their off season, you can get some good value out of that, definitely. But that being said, so you feel like it's a good value. More importantly, did the people paying the tab feel it was a good value?
Yes, they had a great time.
That's good. Now, why don't you get into a little bit of what you did and what you were able to experience? Because I assume you kind of gave them your view of Epcot, but you probably did a little more touristy stuff than you normally would.
Well,
correct me if I'm wrong.
The first thing we had to do was eat.
Of course.
Because
what'd you get there, around lunchtime?
We left here at 9:30. We got up there at about no traffic, just a little bit after 11.
Oh, really? So that's pretty good.
Yeah, this is how dead it was. There was nobody in lines for the baggage check. Like line, like there would be one line with like 2 people. The next line had 0, and the guards were just standing there. Next line had like 3 people.
That's fantastic.
That's how dead it was.
So that was a good sign.
Yes.
Yeah, and it held true as far as crowd levels.
Yes, and even like the time that we got there. Granted, like rope drop might be, but they always say the busy time because a lot of people sleep in and get breakfast, and they said the busy time is usually late morning, early afternoon.
Yeah, there's definitely a rush because everyone gets there, and it's kind of like a holding pattern in the morning for rope drop. Mm-hmm. But it's you kind of hurry up and wait. You get to the security line; it's a long line. Then you get through, and then you're waiting for them to open the gates anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But later in the day, it can get clogged up a little bit. Probably 10 o'clock. You probably beat that. 10:30, 11. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you got there, were you parked at 11, or you kind of got on property at 11?
Yeah, we kind of got on property. We probably parked at about 5 past. As you're driving up to that Epcot booth, there was not one car in any lane.
That's crazy.
And the time that we went with your family when we were supposed to meet you, and I was like an hour late because that line was all the way. I mean,
in January.
Yes.
Yeah, ridiculous.
There was probably 150 cars in front of me. I mean, it took us 45 minutes. I told you it took me 45 minutes just to get through that part. So
it's insane. So that's a good sign. Low crowds.
We parked, and my father-in-law is craving a burger. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I can't have one here. So they go to Electric Umbrella. I'm like, I'll see you in about 40 minutes. and I sprinted.
I saw the pictures, so I want to hear about this anyway.
Okay. So you know where I went, right?
Bum ba bum 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 bum. Yes, you went.
And it was funny because I actually took the boat. I took the Friendship boat because I hadn't been on one in a while, and it takes you from You know that gift shop, that main gift shop
Yeah.
at the front just before Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And then it drops you off in Morocco.
Right.
So I was going to, in tribute to my favorite cousin, have a chicken and lamb combo.
The Tangerine Cafe special. Sure.
Yep. I looked and I couldn't bring myself to do it.
No.
So then I was, do I go to Japan and get my favorite? Do I get that udon noodle, the spicy?
By
Yes,
the
sir.
way, not to interrupt you, I think that was the actual start of Filth Platter. Was when I ate in Morocco, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what. Yep.
I think
was
that
the
that was
introduction.
born from there. Was the Filth Platter? So I'm sorry. Continue.
So I couldn't decide, and then I'm like, do I want to hit a couple of the flowering garden?
But you've been a couple
Kiosks.
times, and you're not a huge fan of really anything there
No.
at the kiosk this festival.
So I said, all right, I'm gonna get fish and chips. Mm-hmm. And I got a great spot. Por favor, tip. You know where all the outside seating is?
Yeah.
Well, they have seating over and back of Rosencrown.
BTG tip behind
All-
Rosencrown.
And they have about 4 or 5 tables, and then they have a little gate that's just reserved for Rosencrown. So
Yeah.
when everything's packed where the typical people sit for
Yeah, for lunch at the Yorkshire Fish Shop.
at the
or whatever.
Yorkshire
Yeah.
fish shop, there's additional seating over behind Rosencrown, and it's not usually crowded, so you can typically find a spot back there.
Huh. That's good to know. Mm-hmm. And that's nice right on the water, too.
Oh, it was a great seat.
How was the weather?
It was nice. It was nice. It was
Like 80s
probably
or-
like 88 when I was having lunch.
Not too humid, though, right, this time of year?
Nope, not too bad.
So you had the fish. It looked like a nice, good portion, nice and crispy.
I'm gonna tell you, Billy, I was disappointed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and let me tell you why. All we've heard about is it's the same thing that you can get at Rosencrown. Guess what? It's not. It's tilapia in the quick serve.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I never knew that.
and inside it's a nice cod.
Wow. I had no idea.
And tilapia, for those of you who don't know, is a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
So they don't eat much nutrients, so you're not getting much of the nutrients that you will with other fish. And it's a little fishy tasting. Because I've had tilapia a number of times. I like tilapia. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I have no
But
problem with it.
I'm so used to when I have fish and chips for it just not to really have that fishy taste.
Yeah, you definitely expect, like, fish or chips always is cod. Always.
Right. And next time you do it, you're gonna notice it was like you could even smell it when you took your first bite. You could smell the fishy taste.
Huh. That's strange.
So-
I usually don't get it, though, because I like fish and chips, but not enough to use it to eat one.
I'm the same way. I might get it once or twice a year when I'm there. Because Kristen got it inside, and she's like, everybody's been saying don't get. I said, just get what you want. Who cares what everybody else says?
If that's what you want, order
Right.
it.
And
Yeah.
she ended up getting it, and I tried it, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
That's interesting. I did not know it was tilapia. Mm-hmm. That's a cheaper fish, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, sure it does. It sure does.
So it just didn't sit right with you. That's not really what you were expecting, so it kind of...
Yeah, I was a little
Made it a little
disappointed. Yeah.
I wonder if they changed it to tilapia. It hasn't always been tilapia.
Maybe it hasn't. I don't know.
I can't imagine... Well, maybe it has, but I've only had it once, and I don't remember it being necessarily tilapia, but I don't really remember... It didn't stand out to me, so there's nothing I can really comment on that.
And the fries were good.
Fries are good, I'm sure.
Put a little bit of vinegar
You
and
have
salt
to.
on it.
I
You
never
have
eat
to.
vinegar on my French fries unless they're fish and chips.
Correct. Yep.
Now, how was the burger at Electric Umbrella? Did you get a report?
Kristen said it was not good and it was dry.
Not good and dry. That's the typical Disney quick serve burger. Not good
And-
and dry.
He said it wasn't good, and his wife got like a chicken sandwich and said that was lousy. So everybody was underwhelmed with Electric Umbrella.
See, now I think what you should have done, if he was in the mood for a burger, is that you should have tried to get him to go to America. To the quick serve there. I don't even know if they have a burger, but it's more like standard fare. I think you would have had the better selection.
Here's the problem: we had to limit the walking
Oh, okay.
because we had a couple 70s in the 70s with us. So
you didn't want to. Well, you could have taken the boat.
Yeah, and then come back, but it's just too much of a pain. I kind of wanted to strategically move around.
Oh, so you wanted to stay in Future World.
You are correct.
So you kept them there, you did your quick jaunt, and then you met them back in Future World because you wanted to do some rides over there.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, well, let's get into that a little bit. I know we usually don't talk about the rides, but this is different because this is you.
We are inside the gates tonight.
You're in the gates, and this is because you are showing somebody... you're almost like escorting them around, giving them the experience that you would think they want.
Oh, I charge that $150 an hour fee, too.
Did you? Good. Did you wear the vest and everything?
Yeah, I had like a name tag.
The plaid vest? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it said Mike, Warwick, Rhode Island. Yeah, I had all that stuff.
If you worked at... Now, this is a total non sequitur here, but if you worked at Disney, would you put Warwick, Rhode Island on your tag?
Yes.
You wouldn't put Sarasota or whatever?
No.
See, that surprises me. But you want the conversations, though.
That's why I want the conversation.
Because every person from New England would say, "Oh, Rhode Island, I'm from New Hampshire." And you'd be like, "Oh, cool."
They make, yeah.
It's funny because I do that when I go. Like, who cares if you're from Maine? I'm from Rhode Island. It's like 6 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like if it said Chicago, Illinois, and the person's like, "Oh, that's good. I'm from Indiana." It's like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
We're weird in New England, aren't we?
Oh, really strange.
Everyone does it, though. I bet.
Oh, everybody does it. We were talking the other day about the whole how green is in Warwick.
Yeah.
And not only do people get irritated when they have a sign that says, regardless of what your pilot told you.
Oh, yeah. You're in Warwick, Rhode Island. And the airport code's PVD, so that just probably goes right up there behind anyway.
You know where the airport is? Yeah, that's where I'm from. Oh, shut up. It's like Minneapolis airport's in Bloomington, but people don't go berserk that... What are you going to call it? Bloomington International Airport? People might think it's Indiana. I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, did you want to move on, Bill?
Yeah, let's talk
about airport codes?
We could. I know you like that.
Do you know what's weird?
What's that?
I think Sarasota's SRQ.
SRQ? That is weird.
Wouldn't you think that that's Syracuse?
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, there's no Q in Syracuse either.
Yeah, but you call them the Q.
The Q's, yeah. I guess it makes more sense. SRQ. Yeah.
SRQ.
We'll have to research that. So where'd you take these newbies?
So the first stop we went over to Finding Nemo ride.
Okay, because you're in the area anyway. You know it's going to be a short wait.
And Spaceship Earth was a little longer than what we wanted to wait for.
Spaceship Earth is always a long wait because now it has Fast Pass, so that slows it up. And people just go there because it's the first thing they see.
So what we did was we went over to that kiosk over by Interventions.
Okay.
And we got Fast Passes that way.
Oh, because they didn't have the ticket ahead of time.
Correct.
Of course, yeah.
Yep. So we did it that way. And Kristen looked at me. She said, it's dead when you can get Soarin' the same day.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, you can get Soarin'? She's like, yeah. I'm like, wow.
That's crazy.
So anyway, so then we got our Fast Passes and we went over and did
Finding Nemo,
and that was Kristen's mother-in-law's favorite movie, so she loved it.
Oh, good.
And then we went upstairs, of course, and we did the manatee thing, and we spent a lot of time up there.
The aquarium's nice. That's a nice
that.
Aquarium.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it is good. The girls like that. I feel like that's good for all. Like, there's nobody that. I mean, some people just pass it by, but people that actually take the time, I don't think they regret it. It's not a waste of time. There's a lot of different fish and like sharks and dolphins, and you don't see a lot of dolphins and manatees at most aquariums,
right?
So there's very unique things that you could see there.
Yeah, like we spent a lot of time with the girl, just hammering her head about the manatees and this and that. She knew everything. It was interesting.
That's cool.
We probably spent about 15 minutes talking to her because we got in there like during the right at the end of her spiel.
Okay, so you had some questions.
As soon as she's done, everybody bails.
Right.
And she was standing off to the side, so I went over and just started asking her questions. I mean, she knew everything. It was pretty interesting.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So then we got off there, and I said, well, let's go do the land.
Sure.
And that was, pretty much just not walk up, but we probably waited about 5 or 10 minutes.
For living with the land, perfect.
Yep. And then I said, well, I know we got a fast pass for Soarin', but let me just go take a look. And I go look, and it says 15 or 20.
Yeah, you took a picture of it, right?
Yeah. So we ended up, I said, let's just do this now. Let's just whack this one out now. And it was actually, it was longer. It was about 30, 35.
That's not bad, though.
But it's still not bad, no.
Because half the time, even when you have a fast pass, you're still waiting 20 minutes anyway.
No, all day, because it's such a slow loader.
Right. Now, what were their thoughts on that? Because you know how I feel. I'm very strongly against the new version, but I assume that they don't have any
correct
love for the old version.
They thought it was so cool.
Now, where were you sitting?
We had a good seat. We were right in the middle.
So you didn't see the bend as much?
Right.
That makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm. So I can get why you would love it. Because I still love the mechanics of the ride. I still love the music. I just don't like the video anymore. Especially if you don't have a good seat.
Right.
But that's well documented at this point. I'm not going to harp on that again. So they loved it. So the whole land pavilion was a big success, I assume. Mm-hmm. Did they like the living with the land? Like, were they interested in it, or they just kind of sit there? Okay.
No, they thought it was cool. How do you not?
I mean, I don't know. I love it. I've always loved it. Even the girls liked it. Mm-hmm. When we went on it, you were with us for that one, right? Mm-hmm. And they were, even Yagina Jr. was, pointing to the plants that she knew and seeing the fish and everything. So, yeah, it's kind of a, not that it's a hidden gem, because I think a lot of people do, like, the Disney people like it. Mm-hmm. You don't hear a lot of true Disney fans that are like, oh, skip this, it's boring.
It's so interesting.
It's really cool.
And I'm not gonna get into it. I mean, the old school was better because you had a person.
You had the person, yeah,
who,
sure.
It was much more specialized.
Mm-hmm. But at least it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
At least they didn't totally ruin it. So I heard, and I don't even know if it's open yet, but there's like a new movie there where the Lion King thing used to be. Is that correct? Was that open yet?
Where what was?
Remember the Lion King, the environmental fable?
No.
movie?
Oh, no. Oh, that thing?
Yeah.
That crazy thing? I don't know. I actually didn't see anything, and we walk right, because we always walk right by it and then take the escalator downstairs. I didn't see anything.
Okay, something's going in there, and I don't remember what it was, and it's probably not open yet.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't see anything.
I'll have to.
And I would assume if it was open that there would have been a little bit of crowd lingering outside.
Sure. All right, so now you kind of wrapping up the land. Did you get more food while you were in there?
No, but they did want to just sit down for a little while, and we got some waters and just hung out.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I said, well, I haven't eaten in about 2 hours. I'm about due. So I looked, and I just nothing piqued my interest.
No, that place is hit or miss. I feel like it's great for breakfast, and then the lunch doesn't do anything for me there.
But then I saw this turkey on focaccia.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't feel like a sandwich. I'm at EPCOT. And then I saw people bringing it to their table.
Looked good.
And it was 4 times the size of your head.
Wow.
It was gorgeous. And it was loaded. Yeah.
So it's a good value, you think?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Like shareable?
Yeah, I think it would have been good, like, in between lunch and dinner and sharing it with a couple people.
Nice. That's not a bad pavilion. That's an underrated pavilion just to hang out and sit down.
It's such a nice place to relax, isn't it?
It is.
Tons
of seats. You never have to wait for a seat.
Yep.
You can go get the water, the ice water. Good people watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice in there.
And it's not too loud.
No, I mean, it's not like a library, but it's yeah, you can have a conversation, certainly. All right,
so then after that, we headed over and we did Figment real quick because we had a 4:00 fast pass for Spaceship Earth.
Okay, so you were in the area, so you just went and did. Now, how was that as far as a wait?
It was a walk-on.
Walk-on.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Do you remember how long we waited for the Finding Nemo ride?
I remember.
It was at least 40 minutes. I couldn't believe it.
I remember because you guys were taking off though, weren't you? Wasn't that the day that we had breakfast, and when we got there, you guys were heading back to the resort?
Yeah, that's right.
No, but you guys were, but we did that ride because I remember, when we were done, the girls were playing. No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. No, you guys did bail.
Yeah, because we went over, did Figment, and then we left right after Figment.
Because you guys had Fast Pass or something, and I missed them.
Yeah.
Because I had breakfast or something.
Yeah, that could be. That's right.
And there was a line outside.
Yeah, Figment was like a 50-minute wait that day. It was insane. I still can't get over the crowds in January.
That was the most crowded that place was.
Yeah, it was insane.
Like, I've never seen it like that.
All right, so you did Figment. What were the thoughts on that? Was that just like it
wasn't really non-discussion, so I think, it was what it was.
Yeah, you just kind of do it in and out, boom, bang, bing.
I mean, it's kind of one of those when you get off, you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think it's great for younger kids.
Yeah,
My
sure.
daughters love it. Yorgina Jr., she still talks about it. She said, "Want to do Figment ride?"
I mean, it's cute. Figment's the original.
Figment, the character, is 100 times better than the ride is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the idea of Figment and what, how he represents EPCOT, or however you want to put that, like, being, like, the mascot, and, like, the merchandise they come up with now, that's more what I like about Figment than the actual ride. I like the ride because it keeps him alive.
Yes.
So I want it to stay, but it's not a great ride.
No.
It's fun. I like it. I'll go on it every time I go there, but it's not something that I'm like, oh man, it's the best thing. You got to try. Like, if there's a first timer in EPCOT, I'm not going to be like, you got to do Make sure that's one of the top things you do.
And the other thing is that the smell wasn't working. I don't know if it was not working or if they did away with it.
The skunk smell? It must have not been working, because they wouldn't get rid of that.
No.
Kind of defeats the purpose at that point.
Yeah, because it was still talking about it, and I'm like, well, if they got rid of it, they would take away the conversation about it.
Yeah, I would think so.
So I wonder if it just wasn't working.
Yeah. All right, so then you had a Spaceship Earth, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with that.
That's mine and Susie's favorite there.
It's so awesome.
I love that, don't you?
I still like the Mexico boat ride, I think, is my favorite. But I love that ride.
Oh, I love that.
It's just quintessential. It's just pure Disney. You obviously think of EPCOT, but all the animatronics, the narration, the slow Omni mover, everything about it, it's unique to Disney. It is great.
Now, did you see that picture that I posted? I never knew about this thing.
Which one?
The one with me and Kristen, when they do the cartoon thing, where you pick your journey at the end.
Yeah, what about it?
Did you see that I posted the picture online?
Yeah.
On our social media? Mm-hmm. You can have that emailed to you.
Oh, yeah, if you go to the little section afterwards. Yeah.
I never knew about that. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Well, I never did that before.
I thought you just took a picture with your phone.
No, I was walking by that, and I'm like, what is this? All these years, I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah. I did know about that.
I told Kristen it might be our regular... I'm going to put it as my profile picture and tag her, and she does not want me doing that.
She was not a fan of that idea. Okay. So far, how are they doing? Like, you're just hammering Future World, which is a good strategy. I like that strategy.
That's pretty solid, isn't it?
Well, especially you said you don't want to be taking them back and forth. You don't want to go do the American Adventure and then have to go to Spaceship Earth and then back over to Mexico.
If it's you and I, we're gonna go grab something in Japan and then just go run back for our Fast Pass at Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I've done that before.
Yeah, so have I. Me and Doug have done it, actually.
We were at the America Pavilion. We finished the American Adventure. We had a Fast Pass at Soarin' in like 8 minutes, and we hustled over there and we made it. But, yeah, it's not the best way to go about it, but it can be done. So this was more strategic. Did you bother with Mission Space or Test Track, any of that stuff?
No, none of that. We were looking at the times, but the wait just wasn't worth it. So
now I assume Future World's pretty much wrapped up at this point. You're looking ahead into World Showcase as the early evening strolls.
Yeah,
around.
we ended up taking a friendship boat over there, boop, boop. And we got over there and we just made it for the 5:30 Richard Marx concert.
Now, how was that something that I don't remember our discussion?
Yes, that was on our list.
Okay, and Susie's a fan as well?
Huge fan. That was more of her than me.
Okay. And it was a good show?
He was so good.
Did the parents like it as
well? Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. His voice is still there. He was really good.
So you put on a good performance.
Put on a good show, sang like my top 3 hits, and he's got a bunch of hits. He was really good.
Now, was that like enough? I don't even know. Did you end up doing the other show because it was so good, or did you just the one?
No, it just time didn't permit.
Sure. If it was just you and Susie, you probably would have done the second
probably,
show.
Yep.
All right, so then you had dinner. I saw that, so let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah, so then Kristen's dad wanted to let's go to Italy. I said, okay. I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, you love it anyway.
I love it. So we were walking around the gift shops, looking at the beers and the wines.
And you just walked in?
Yeah, well, we went to we were going to try your favorite place.
Yeah.
And it was about 30 deep outside the maitre d', and I said, there's just no way. So I said, let's just go to Tudo.
And it worked out.
Yep. Just said,
seated right away, or did you have to wait a little bit?
Seated right away.
Beautiful.
She looked at all the reservations. She's like, yep, I could squeeze you in. Come with me.
That's fantastic. Now, did you get that giant filth platter again?
We got the column. Yep, we did end up getting the antipasto.
The antipasto, that's right.
And we didn't stop there.
No. What else?
We got one of the salads with what did it have? It had shrimp. It had some calamari and octopus.
Oh, so like a salad de mar?
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah, like with stuff from the ocean. De mar means like of the ocean, I think.
Okay.
Was that good?
Yeah, it was. I won't eat octopus, so.
No, but you like calamari.
Yeah, yeah. And this was not the breaded calamari, but it was good.
You tried it?
And it had some snails, and yeah, it was good.
So that's good. Now Felix he's an Italian guy, so 100%. He likes Italian food, right?
His dad grew up in Italy, actually.
So he knows good Italian food. Was he impressed by this restaurant?
He's been there.
Okay.
He's been there. He cooks it all the time, and he said it was very good.
Better than Rhode Island? Better than Federal Hill?
I didn't get into that. But he and his wife got the chicken prom. It was a special again, the one that I got. Yeah. And they said it was great. I said, is this good? He said, yeah, this is really good. I said, okay. I ended up getting the shrimp scampi.
That's kind of like they're known for that, right?
Yeah, it's one of their signatures.
Right. How was it?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I mean, the thing, Bill, about that place is their pasta, because it's made fresh.
It's just that makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it?
It makes all the difference, and it's cooked to perfection. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not the one that you're going to throw against a wall and it's just going to stick and not slide down. Or it's going to stick and not slide down. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's al dente.
Yeah, it's just so starchy and wet and garbage. Yeah. It's so good. Now
the key is because all the buttery garlicky sauce sticks to the pasta, so it doesn't slide off. That's the beauty of it.
And then she was in between two things, and she asked the waiter. She said, "This or the lobster ravioli?" He said, "Lobster ravioli." So she let me try it, and you could tell that this was just they had just rolled it out, put the lobster in there, put the dough on top, pressed it down with their fingers, and threw it in some water for a little bit because it was so ridiculous.
See, I like lobster ravioli, and I never order it because you get 6 usually.
Yeah, and that's what she got. Yep.
Yeah, I always feel like I get gypped when I get that at a restaurant. I like a lot of food, as you may or may not have known. I'm strategic with my stuff because I'll love lobster ravioli, but I never order it because I don't get enough. Same with lobster rolls. I feel the same way. Usually, kind of get a small portion with a lobster roll. So I always, as much as I like it, I never order it. Because I know I'm going to be disappointed with the amount, not the taste or anything, just the amount.
Now, before we move on, here's something that was funny.
Okay.
So, a kid comes over with grated cheese.
Yes.
He goes, "Would you like some?" Blah, blah, blah. So, Felix has some. I have some. Or his wife has some. I have some. So, Felix said, "Mike," he goes, "Do you realize that you're not supposed to put cheese on your fish?" He said, it's an Italian custom and blah, blah, blah. And I said, "No, I never heard that." And the kid went over and he goes, "Sir," he goes, "nobody, no American has ever said that in this restaurant." He goes, "You are my favorite customer of all time." And he hugged him. It was classic.
Meanwhile, you're getting Parmesan all over your shrimp.
So so our waiter came over and we asked him, and he said no. He goes, you do not put cheese. He said because it's so rich. He said in the food from the ocean is so delicate and light that we don't want to ruin the flavor of it. Mm-hmm. He said, and that's it. And he said, the waiters won't like put it on your fish. He said, will you? He goes, no. He goes, I only put it on the pasta. He said, because my grandmother would be looking up above and saying, no, don't you do it. And he had that thick accent, and it was just hilarious.
I have heard that before about the cheese on seafood. Yeah, shrimp. I don't mind. Shrimp, I will put cheese on. I feel like the shrimp can hold up to it. Like shrimp with pasta, I like to put Parmesan cheese on. But as far as like fish or lobster, like in a pasta, yeah, I wouldn't put cheese on there. So yeah, I have heard that before, but I don't think I would have said anything either at the restaurant. But maybe next time I will. I'll get a hug.
Yeah, no, it was funny. It was funny. They were great, man. The service was so good because Felix was telling him about where they went and this and that. And, I mean, our server was amazing. Mm-hmm. So then we ordered dessert. They split a dessert, and we ended up all getting coffee.
Yeah.
So Kristen got an espresso, and the three of us got cafe Americana. So he's trying to talk us into an espresso, and we're joking about it and this and that. So the girl comes out with the coffees. He goes, the young lady over here has the espresso. He goes, those three. Cafe Americano, and he walked away in disgust. It was so funny. I'm like, it's so nice when people have fun instead of like just hello sir, hello madam.
Yeah,
like they were like really like just showing.
Yeah, but they could also tell though that you guys were into it. Also,
yeah, that's true.
You know, because some people they probably want to do that, and then people would get offended or something. You know, but you know that's a good server though when they can read the table. Yep. Yeah, beautiful. That sounds like a fun meal.
Yeah.
You know, so like you always say, when you go to Disney, it's about the experiences.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to remember one damn ride.
All the rides you went on, but you'll remember that meal for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Where Felix got hugged by the waiter. You'll remember about not putting cheese on your seafood, too.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what it's all about. And that all came from the service.
Uh-huh. Yep.
You probably won't even remember how good or bad the meal was. You're still just going to remember the service and the experience and the laughs.
Exactly.
And that's all worth it.
That's what it's all about, Bill.
I agree. I can't disagree with that aspect of it. You know, you think back like that 2014 trip that we went on that basically started this podcast and got you moved to Florida. Well, what's the one thing you remember from that trip above all else?
Hoop-de-doo review.
Exactly, the hoop-de-doo review. And I don't even remember. I remember liking the food, but it wasn't even about the food. We just laughed that whole meal.
I remember when we were doing the washboards.
The
whole table was like pissing themselves.
Yeah, and remember the Davy Crockett song came on and everyone's singing it and you're looking around like, how do you know this song? Mm-hmm. Like some of the funniest things, and I'll never forget that stuff. And had nothing to do with going on Thunder Mountain or, Splash Mountain.
You know what's funny? Like, for me, like, the way my brain works, like, I remember that, but I also remember right at the beginning, because I was so excited about this trip, just the four of us, me, Kristen, your wife, and you, just having lunch before
down
we
at, like, Pop Century, yeah.
Because I don't think everybody had gotten here yet.
No, because we were a few hours ahead of them because we had to drive.
Yeah, that's right. So you were in, and I flew. But I just remember just having lunch and just hanging out. And
yeah, because we got in first, and we were beat because we had driven straight through 24 hours. And, like, we got in the room, and I think Sarah had just showered. And then I was waiting in the lobby, and you guys walked in off the Magical Express, and I just went up to you guys and gave you a big hug. Like, I was, like, greeting you in the lobby at Pop Century.
Yeah, that's right, because we were waiting to check in, and then we went and got the beer because we had that beer delivery.
Oh, that's right, yeah, because you didn't even have to check in because you were sharing the room with us.
Oh, that's true, but I think I didn't have to get my Magic Band linked.
Oh, maybe, whatever it was, but regardless, yeah, you came off the bus, and I was in the lobby, and then we all had lunch, like you said, waiting for the rest of the family to get there. Yeah, you remember those things.
Yeah, those. Yeah, again, it comes down to food.
And like me, you, and my father sitting outside having coffee in the morning.
Having the coffee one of those mornings.
Yeah, with the steam coming off the pool.
Yeah, because we go down every morning because like the girls would like just relax and we would get up and get the coffees and bring them back to the room.
Right.
Well, yeah, watching the steam come off the pool. was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to add about the EPCOT day? What else did you do after dinner? Just watch Illuminations, or you do any more rides?
We worked our way toward the front.
Okay, just kind of made it through slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And they enjoyed the day.
Yes, very much so.
So you were playing host. You kind of took it back because you probably normally wouldn't have done all the rides in Future World like you did.
No, probably not.
You would have gone straight to World Showcase, walked around, maybe done Spaceship Earth on the way in or on the way out or something.
One or two of my movies.
Sure, but a different way of doing it. But you still, you got the food, you got the slow walking around, you got to look around in some of the shops, and just have a nice, easy day. Sounds like it was a fun day. Sounds like you guys all had a good time.
Now I'll tell you, this was a big step because we got a pet sitter for Rhodey.
Oh, how did that go?
It went amazing. We left it. First of all, he's graduated. He doesn't have a crate anymore.
Oh, good. I remember you said you tried that one time, right?
The crate has been folded up. We've been leaving him, and we'll go to Disney now for 7 or 8 hours, and we can leave him for about 9 hours.
Yeah,
we haven't pushed it anymore. So this weekend when we were cleaning the house, I folded up his crate. I said, he's done. He graduated.
Oh, nice.
When Felix came over, he said, "Where's his crate?" I said, "He's done. He graduated." I said, he had his cap and gown, and he's graduated. So that's in the garage. So
fantastic.
We got a pet sitter, and I asked him. I said, "Can you come over twice?" He's like, "Yeah." She's like, "What time?" So I'm like, "Well, we'll leave it at about 9, so maybe 1, and then come over about 7:30 or so and take him for another walk and feed him and this and that." And he texts me every time he came with updates, like what he did, where they went, all that good stuff that I used to do as a pet sitter. But we left at 9:30 and we didn't get home until almost 11, so it was about 13 and a half hours, and he had 2 visits from a pet sitter, and he was fantastic.
Oh, good. So now that's an option.
That's an option. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Right. Now,
I'd rather have a pet sitter and be able to go for the day than to do our 5 or 6 or 7 hour jaunts.
Now, is this pet sitter like a overnight kind of guy? Like
he doesn't do overnight, so I still have to find
somebody,
an overnight person
for when you go in a couple weeks, 6 weeks. You're going up,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, we'll have to talk about that.
And for your sister's wedding, so
right, true. All right, so I guess we should probably wrap up this segment. Anything else you want to add here?
That's all I got, Billy.
All right, we'll be right back after this. $272 of Beyond the Gates is in the books. We talked about a kind of a outsider's view of EPCOT, a one-day pass, $109. Now, something that you texted me a picture, and I'm going to pull it up so we could talk about it here.
Oh boy,
of the pricing. Now, this is bizarre. Neither of us could really figure out what was going on here.
You know what this? I think whoever came up with the pricing scheme is also the creator of the My Disney Experience app. That's
very possible. So this is showing the tickets for EPCOT or any theme park at that point. So this is valid today only, which was May 15th when you took this. $109 for one day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We knew that going in. A 2-day, valid any 2 days through Saturday 5/18. So basically you could use it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Any 2 days. $232. So more than double the $109, which makes no sense. And then we move up to a 3-day.
3-day.
Valid any 3 days through 5/19. So you get through Sunday. And that goes to $358, which again is more than triple. And it's more than $109 more than $232. So you're adding quite a bit. So it's costing more to buy a 2 or 3 day ticket than it would be to buy individual 1 day tickets at this point.
So you're better off just walking up and buying a 1 day.
And then 4 days you're looking at $441, which is closer, but it's still more than 4 times the 1 day. It makes no sense. I don't understand if it's a typo or what's going on.
What's going on with this?
I know they have like the tiered pricing, so each day is a different price.
It should be consistently.
Yeah, and like you said, it should be close to the same in that period, and those are weekdays. But maybe the weekends are just that much higher. Maybe the weekends are $120, so they have to build that cost into it. I don't know. I can't figure it out. It makes very little sense to me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It almost seems like it's a mistake, but obviously it's not a mistake. That's what you would pay. I can't figure it out.
It's beautiful.
It's just so bizarre.
It's typical Disney.
It's like if you go to look at the T-shirts in the gift shop, and it's like, oh, they're $20 each or 2 for $50. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense. you know what? It's basically what it is, right?
It is. Yeah, it's $20 or 2 for $50.
It's like, why the hell would I buy 2? Well, buy one, walk out, come in, and buy another one.
That is the best analogy I think ever on this show.
Well, it's about time we did something here.
Wow, that was the best analogy ever put on the show.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you just go walk out and you come back and buy another one.
Yeah.
Because if you bring 2 up to the checkout, you're getting whacked.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it were exactly double, you could say, okay, it just gives you that, like, flexibility in a few days. It was $118 $218 for a 2-day ticket. You just say, okay, so it's the same cost, doubled, and now you have 4 days to use the 2 days. That, at least you get the flexibility built in. You could say you're not really getting a break, but, at least you have that flexibility. But it makes no sense to pay an extra $25.
The whole thing about buying multiples is it forces you at that time to buy multiples.
And there's a benefit to that.
And there's a benefit.
Like if
you even think you might want to go another day, you buy it because you're saving.
Especially once it gets over like 5 or
30%.
6 or what it used to be anyway. I guess not anymore. I don't know.
Just buy one at a time.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Well, I guess on that note, that's as good of a point as any to wrap things up. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right, thank you for listening.
You need to do our social media, Billy.
I was going to get into it. I was going to say you could follow us on all the social media sites, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at WDWBTG. Subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Tune in at WDWBTG. Leave reviews and ratings at all those places where you listen. Our YouTube channel, search for, WDW Beyond the Gates podcast. Is that
Correct.
the best way to find it? And then you can
it's just WDW Beyond the Gates.
Beyond the Gates. And then you can go to our website, WDWBTG.com. Email the show, info at WDWBTG.com. My email is Gary at WDWBTG.com. And yours is Mike.
At WDWBTG.com.
That's correct. Anything else, or are we good?
We're good.
All right, thank you so much for listening to episode number 272 of the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast with Mike and Gary. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.